What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about SoundHound. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what's been coming out from the company itself and where it may be heading next. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that said, let's get right to it. So at the time of doing this video, it is down 2.39%. 8.3 million for volume, 65.2 is the average. So in my last video, I did actually address the lower volume, and that is something to be of concern over. Especially when it comes to a momentum play, you need that kind of rush of institutions getting in. So far today, there's only been 2 transactions above $100,000. There was a pretty big notable one, so 1.75 million, but based on the bid, the ask, and the selling price, it was a sell, so not necessarily the best for institutions to get in. But even aside from that, roughly about 5 to 6 transactions on a daily basis, whereas before in its prime, when it was really running up, there was almost more than 250 every single day, and my page kind of maxes out at 250. So very interesting stuff when it comes to this, and there's a lot of kind of faults or reasons why it's not really getting the institutional presence that it once was, because the company's not putting out any news. I brought that up as well, more of a issue with the company. But aside from that, just broader fears, and the fear and greed index right now is at 39, so people's appetite for risk is just not there. And for a momentum play, you need greed in the market. So again, during its prime, it was, I think, at 80, something like that. So it was very, very high. So it's just not necessarily the right circumstances for SoundHound to continue to go up. Surprisingly though, I'm kind of impressed the fact that it's actually still holding some of its gains. A lot of stocks have been completely slammed, which obviously SoundHound has as well, but in relation on a percentage basis, it's actually doing relatively good. So I'm going to talk about all that in a second, but starting off with shorts. So right now shorts are returning 110.28 thousand shares. So this is why I like to analyze this information, because for them to return on a red day, it kind of shows that it's not really justified. Of course, you can take that with a grain of salt, but 18.63% of the free float is being shorted, and that works out to be 49.87 million shares overall are being shorted. Utilization is 98.54, and short score, so the higher the number, the harder the likelihood of a squeeze happening, is 76.27, and then cost to borrow is 17 or almost 18%. So like I've said in the past, I still do feel that SoundHound is more of a squeeze play as well. So it's kind of a hybrid stock. So momentum, AI, and as well as a squeeze play. Just in order for a squeeze to happen, you need the company itself to put out some substantial pieces of news. Without that, then it's just going to be continuing to trend down. And obviously, again, without any news, you're not going to really entice any investors, institutional investors, to get in. I'll give you a quick overview while I'm on here as well. So the latest analyst rating was done about 6 days ago, $4.90 price target, Cantor Fitzgerald, and that was Brett, who does have a 42% success rating. As well, you do see this EX right here, which it does signal that the SEC Rule 201, aka the uptick rule, has been triggered. So again, that's kind of a good safety net for at least SoundHound and its investors. And what that does truly mean is if a company is trading below 10 cents, or 10%, then this is where shorts can increase their position. So kind of a positive sign, if you want to consider it that way. Latest Morningstar report does show the fair market value for SoundHound though being $6.84. So take that with a grain of salt. On a side note, if you're looking for a lot of good compiled information such as analyst ratings, forecasts, everything under the sun, if you're curious about ownership of whatever asset, take a look at Interactive Brokers for all of this information to be completely free. Link in the description below and also the comments. But moving on though, looking at options and the other fun jazz I like to talk on, $548,000 in calls, 277 in puts. Sentiment wise, 49% of all the options being done today are bearish, and of the call options that are being purchased, you do see a consensus for it to be roughly above $4 by the end of next week. And then looking at puts, more of a consensus for it to be sub 350, so continuation of the downtrend. These are some of the transactions that have occurred on the dark pool. So dark pool clearly is a little bit more popular than the secondary market, and this is primarily used by shorts and just larger institutions, which in SoundHound's case obviously does allude to just shorts. So let me know your thoughts on that, and if you think shorts are going to exit anytime soon, or if there's going to be a short squeeze. What's your thoughts? And obviously, while I'm on here, I've already brought up there hasn't been any recent news. So last news was on March the 25th, and there hasn't been any recent analyst ratings. So I've already done a video talking all about this and everything else. So right now, if you are looking at trading SoundHound, so right now it is at $3.93. It is trading between these 2 points, so this S2 and this S1. So no real change since my last video. So $3.58 is going to be that next strong support that you'll want to watch for it to hold. And if it is unfortunately unable to hold, then it will trade between kind of the S3 and this S2 range. And so that is more of a scary downtrend, of course. But like I said, I think the only thing that could really cause it to go down is more of a larger escalation from the whole Israel scenario. Right now, just the circumstances and the data points don't really justify it. But if you're looking at averaging down, that might be a very good pivot point. Vice versa, $4.88 will be that next strong resistance and the target for SoundHound to kind of aim towards. But without institutions really causing a nice level of support or just kind of the bump up in the stock price, I don't see this being hit. So for the foreseeable future, it is just probably going to trade within that range. And this is exactly what I did say in my last video as well, that it will probably just continue to trade within this 50 and 100-day moving average for the foreseeable future, unless something dramatic happens in the broader market to cause it to go down, or if SoundHound puts out a good piece of news causing it to get higher. So it is lower percentile of the Bollinger Band, very oversold with stochastic, so that is at 8. Despite its oversold status, you do see a underlying bearish sentiment, and that is just kind of piggybacking from the broader market. Number of retail investors haven't been doing jack all, so they've been kind of just maintaining their position. So I think that's maybe a positive sign. Let me know if you are kind of within that group, if you're just holding, and what are you, I guess over and above that, what have you been doing with SoundHound? Have you been averaging down, and where do you see things price-wise, let's say like 6 months from now or 1 year from now? Throw your predictions in the comments below. Maybe next video I'll kind of do that, more of a prediction longer term, because I know a lot of my videos is just short-term stuff, what is happening in the moment and possibly within the next week or week and a half or whatever else. So not necessarily for everyone. So let me know your thoughts on SoundHound. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. One final thing, make sure you guys definitely take advantage of this promo as well. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 7 fractional shares of the 𝗪𝗧7, so a $35 total value. Take advantage of this, link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.